What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fill Your Cup Podcast. Yours truly, Spence Crosby. I got my two buddies with me.
It's your boy, William Taylor, CEO of New Wave Coaching, in the building.
And Tyler Wellness, owner of the Talent to Income Academy.
Fellas, we are in the podcast, the booth, once again. Fill your cup. That's the name you went with.
It's time to fill our cups.
Yeah, it's time to fill the cup.
Fill our cups, guys.
All right, fill the cup, fill the cup, fill the cup. All right, this is the etiquette. Okay.
Okay, it's kind of hot.
Ooh, might have to seep a little bit more, but it's fine.
Don't spill it.
Yeah, we're spilling my tea right now, guys.
Over here.
Right here.
I don't like the color right now.
Yeah?
It's too clear.
So maybe a little more steeping.
Yeah, it's going to be good in about 15 more minutes.
See you right there, yeah.
You said 15?
Yeah, so who wants to take the first sip?
Yeah, let's take a little sip, see what we're doing.
Just take a sip. Let's all take a sip. Let's all
Alright.
take one. Let's all take one.
Filling our cup today. What's the flavor of the day?
So the flavor of today, we got hibiscus.
Biscuits.
We got some ginger, some echinacea, I think it's called. Yeah, echinacea and elderberry, and a cinnamon stick.
Okay, I did
we got-
taste the cinnamon.
Yeah,
Did
good,
taste the
good,
cinnamon.
good.
Yeah, it's healthy stuff in there, man.
Healthy
I
stuff.
got healthy stuff in my cup.
Yeah, this is for the winter time, you know.
I like
Living
it,
up
yeah.
north is, it gets cold, it snows, and all this stuff. And I mean, I'm sure people who's listening is gonna be like mainly from over here right now. We never know. We might get some people from Cali, across the world. We don't know.
Right, where they don't have to deal with this
Man.
snow.
Well, we holding it down in Michigan, man.
Always
we
hold it down. Always.
For the Michigan, from the gun rule.
Yeah,
616,
from the gun rule,
Where you
from
get
the
your kicks.
All right, fellas. So we sipped our tea. We forgot to set the intention.
Set the intention.
We broke etiquette. Well, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the intention for today. Well, the intention I want to set actually for not only today, but just for this whole year is building yourself for success. All right, because that's gonna tie into our topic for today. So the intention is building yourself up for success. Okay. So let's take another sip, just for etiquette reason.
Yeah, setting that intention,
Now,
guys.
Intention,
Yeah,
yes.
the intention.
Bring it in.
Okay,
Hey,
cheers. Here we go. Boom.
A little something new.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually better this time.
That's great.
All right.
All the flavors mixing.
I
It's
know,
really nice.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is actually my first concoction with all those different herbs. Like,
Okay.
I normally just do hibiscus, but I was like, let me do
Yeah, it is a lot. You said
echinacea.
cinnamon.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of stuff. Okay.
I kind of mix a lot of different things in here. But all right, fellas, let's go ahead and jump into the topic for today. And what we're going to talk about today is how to build your environment. Or most importantly, making your environment suitable for your success. What does that mean to build your environment for success?
I'm going to honestly jump in and say it kind of is like this tea, right? We have all these ingredients mixing together to make one thing. And what that one thing is, it's success. So in your life, you have all these events you're going through. And you can either take it as failure or you can take it as stepping stones to build you up to success. And every little thing you do can add up to a bigger picture. So if you understand your environment, everything you're currently in right now, if that's not what you want, slowly change it one step at a time and create the environment you want, which will then be the lifestyle that you want.
That's key.
Completely.
Yeah.
Knowledge drop right there.
But the most important thing too is don't get inhibited by those failures. I mean, failures are just different ways of learning. There's plenty of times where you're gonna fall, but it's just like a baby. A baby doesn't just say, I'm just gonna stop walking. It just intrinsically knows that, hey, I gotta get up and start walking. I have to learn how to walk. So don't take those failures as personal. Take them as like, okay, stepping stones. Like, okay, now I know what I have to do. You have to circumvent elsewhere in order to accomplish that goal. So I think that's key.
That's a strong note that you said. There's failure. It could be a part of your environment for success. You have to put yourself in an environment where you're likely to fail or where you might fail,
And that ties into uncomfort zone. Okay, so you have to be uncomfortable in order to truly grow. You can't always be in your comfort zone, because if you're always in your comfort zone, you're never going to grow.
Yep. The comfort zone is not a good place to be successful at.
It's really not. It's really not. Like, you got to really step outside, even if it makes you uncomfortable, uneasy. It's going to be hard for everyone. Everyone doesn't like change. And But the most important thing is learning to acclimate to that change, adapting to that change and realizing, okay, either I'm gonna remain in this situation or I'm gonna change my situation. So that's really key. I guess it's gonna tie into my next question. What do you think is a suitable environment objectively, if that makes sense? Like, what do you think that is?
Suitable environment. I'd probably say it's one that allows you to be able to fail without having like your life on the line, right? So if you can fail and actually learn from that lesson and come back, that's an environment that would, promote growth, right? So say for example, if, it's not a life on the line situation, but it's like if I do this thing, I might feel embarrassed, I might feel, weird at the moment, but it allows me to get that experience so I can take it into my next one and be, fine. It's not like I'm risking my life, but it is like it might feel like that at first. Like you're putting yourself out there doing things that you're not comfortable doing, but you realize at the end of it, oh, I did this and I'm alive, right? So you might feel like you're gonna, panic and die sometimes, like crazy stuff going on in your head, but it's only in your head. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, that's the environment for success right there. Not in the comfort zone. So staying in a place where it's going to give you butterflies, or maybe you're going out on stage or something and you get that same feeling. Like I remember in football, we'd step out onto the field and there's crowd and there's, you get the feeling in your gut, the little butterflies, and it's like, man, I'm kind of like scared. Should I, like, what is this? Like, but it's just kind of like, you're supposed to feel like that. So embrace that and find a zone that's going to put you in a place like that where you're feeling kind of nervous, or it's challenging you. And overall it's going to lead to growth.
Most importantly, I was gonna ask about an event that kind of triggered you guys for being aware of that environment. I know for me personally, it was the people I hung around post high school, and they weren't bad people. You know what I mean? And I just know they're now in a better position than they were before, but everyone grows differently, and for me, it took me a while to realize, okay, my environment most importantly plays a role in my success. Not most importantly, I would say definitely that's second in line behind yourself, because most important, you got to make sure the environment up here mentally is ready for that, spiritually as well. Those are important steps to really like building your environment towards success. So yeah, I think those are good tools, to use. And how much? Okay, let me ask you guys this though.
Hang on, though. Definitely though, the mind though. I kind of want to speak on that.
Go ahead.
The environment mentally, because a lot of people, they might want success or want something, and they might even have the perfect environment for it. They might have all the resources, all the people, all the things that they need, but inside their minds it's not the good environment for success, or they got things inside their minds that are kind of stirring around and making them think differently, so they're not really thinking and curating the thoughts that they need to in order to have that environment mentally, so that's just going to be kind of changing your thought patterns and really just try to reprogram your mind through the way that you're thinking, and try to think more positive thoughts than you do negative thoughts.
I'm going to bounce off that too.
Yeah, you can add to that.
Add to that.
I really, actually this morning I had a conversation with somebody talking about thought habits, because just as we have action habits, we have thought habits too. And if we fall into those thought habits of negative thoughts or those, negative loops, you end up getting stuck in your situation. But the moment you add new information to it, you're allowing yourself to like get out of your old thought habits, right? You're learning new stuff, which then allows you to change the actions you take, because action follows thought. You then get out of that situation that you were currently in. So your environment changes based off the knowledge you allow to put in your own mind. And so if you just like listen to an audiobook, listen to a podcast, listen to anything that allows you to grow, teaching you some new skills, you can get out of your situation. You might not know, what information you need, but you just start listening to people. Listen to people who were maybe in a situation similar to yours and how they got out. Or even situations that might not seem like they directly relate to you, but you can take little seeds of like what they did and see if you can bring it into your situation.
Very true. Definitely. Very true. So I was gonna ask, what do you think? What are some more essential tools people can use to start building their environment?
Building your environment for success, it's also a physical thing. So, a lot of us live in chaos. You know, you go home, the crib is a mess, your car is wrecked, there's just trash and stuff everywhere. What you can do is just try to eliminate as much of that chaos as you can, because the more of that chaos you can get in order, the more fluid and just more creative you're gonna be. You're gonna have less things that taking your attention. Maybe these random things sitting in the corner. You know, it could potentially save you from an accident if you got all this stuff in your car and you're stepping over stuff and kind of moving things around and distracts you from driving. So I would just like to say, put things in order. Put your room, put it in order. Put your kitchen, put it in order. Put it so that you can find things where they need to be, where they're organized. Keep it nice and neat, you know, because that's going to help you. It's going to clear the clutter of your house and stuff, but it's also going to clear the clutter of your mind. You're not going to be as distracted when you see this huge stack of papers over here and you're like, oh, it's bills, I got to look at this later. But you're really supposed to be focusing on something else. So while that stuff was gone, you can just come and focus on one single thing at a time, you know. So that's a good key, and I think that's a good actionable takeaway that you can do, is just clear the clutter. Get everything as organized as you can get it, and that's going to help you have that nice, clear, just clarity to see things and have that environment physically.
There's a quote that I live by, and another one, as I said in the first podcast. But anyways, this quote is you can never see your reflection in running water, only still water. And a lot of times people, they like to reflect on things when it's, once again, it's chaos.
Right.
So you have that you don't have that clairvoyance that you really need to really see yourself. And a lot of times people run away from who they truly are. They really are afraid of those thoughts, and there's nothing wrong with being afraid of those thoughts. I think the biggest thing is if you can have therapy, or you have therapeutic ways of really clearing yourself out and really seeing yourself, to start building that environment, because everything starts with you. Your friends, your family could only do so much, and a lot of times we kind of depend on others to bring us happiness, materialism to bring us happiness, when all the happiness it derives from internally, you know.
Yeah.
That's where it truly comes from, and I think that's really key.
Mm-hmm. I like to bounce off that too a little. Happiness coming from within, right? If we're cluttered within our minds, we can't see exactly what our goals are, right? And as Will said, you know, you have physical clutter, but you also have mental clutter. And a very easy tool that you can use to like sort of start to organize your thoughts is just literally using a planner, putting down the things that you're thinking about. And so when you start to get off track and think about all these things you got coming up next week, the bills, kids got to do this, all that other stuff, you can come back to your planner and get back on track, right? Because if you're thinking about, you know, trying to accomplish, you know, a big goal that you have for yourself, and then someone else talks about a bill, and then someone else calls you about a birthday party, and someone else does this and that, you're cluttered, and you can't like start to focus on one thing because you feel like you have all these things going on. Mental clarity is what you need to obtain, and the best way to do is put your thoughts down on paper, on your phone, somewhere. Put your thoughts down.
Definitely. Create lists. You know, this is something urgent I have to do. This is something not as important, but it's kind of important. This is something that's a distraction, you know, and then just make a list of all those things. It really helps. I had a time period when I would do that, you know. I had a lot of things in my mind. I just start putting it down on paper, and once it's down on paper, it's just like I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to think about it now, because it's like I'll do it later. I already got it organized so that it doesn't have to be constantly on my mind, you know, and that really helps.
There's another quote. Once again, I'm like the quote, I don't know.
Quote guy.
Quote master. I wish I was a quote master. But anyways, Master Roshi.
That was a good quote, that last one. I like.
Thank you.
Master Roshi. Okay.
Master Roshi he has this next quote.
Okay.
I think he said, distractions are the root of all failure. No. It's something with ineptitude. But anyways, I think it's from Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z, if you guys didn't know. I think he said, distractions are the root of all failure. What were we just speaking about? Having that mental clarity, eliminating those distractions is so key, and that's how you really start to build your environment towards success. So this is gonna tie into my next question. How beneficial do you guys think exercise, nutrition plays a role into starting to build your environment for success?
Man, honestly, I don't think people give it enough credit. It's all connected, the mind-body connection.
Yes.
And the moment you start taking care of yourself physically, you just start to just think clearer. Everything just seems so much better. And it's like you don't realize that the physical activity is like jogging your mind to start working better. So it's like this compound effect that just keeps on getting better as you get better in the gym or get better with your physical fitness, even if it's not in the gym, just running or going for a walk or whatever. Your body then gets used to that habit. It gets stronger, which also lets your mind get stronger. So it's just really this powerful combination.
Yeah, the human body is a machine, man, and it's crazy just to think of how capable it is of doing certain things, and especially when it's really primed and optimized, nutritionally, you know, blood, your health is gonna be better, quality of life, sight improves, creative thoughts, the way you think about things, your you're gonna have less anxiety, just gonna have more relaxed energy, so, and then it's just, yeah, just like they were saying, mind body connection, and the more fine tuned you can get your body and mind, it's just the sky's the limit, everything works better. So I would definitely suggest start there, cleaning up the diet, getting in as much exercise as you can. They were great thinkers. Bruce Lee, he would go around. He's a martial artist, of course. But is also a philosopher. So working his mind, working his body, was able to achieve and create some astonishing things. Movies and new types of martial arts. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there who, even if it was just walking and pacing back and forth, walking and just moving the body, the brain grooves. I heard that's like a saying. Moving the body, the brain will groove. So the more you can get out there and move, stay active, exercise, cook, that can be movement, that can be exercise as well. It's really gonna help. So
I think one of the gong fu or kung fu, it's like interchangeable. I think it stands for energy work or whatever. When you take that philosophy behind the concept of kung fu, and you're like, man, everything is kung fu. When people say that, they're like, how's everything kung fu? Kung fu is movements, energy movement. So it's just, that's exercise. So everything is exercise. Everything, cooking, like Will just mentioned, is a form of exercise. Take those minor skirmishes and relish those victories. That's always key. I don't care if you was like, okay, I'm gonna do 2 miles today, but then you didn't do 2 miles. You did 1.5 miles. Who cares? That's a victory for you. And that ties into building towards your success. And fellas, I want to ask this question. Let's just say your essentials. What are your 3 essential tips for building your success? Building your environment for success.
I have to think about
3 of them, huh?
main 3, yeah.
Main 3. 3 is like the magical number. So it's just like, it could just be honestly just one.
Yeah, I'll go as many as I can do. So first is going to be my environment visually. What I'm seeing, I don't like my truck to be super messy or anything. In my house the same way, my kitchen the same way. I like it to be very organized as much as I can get it, so that way it's not a lot of distractions, because if I see this paper bag here, I got to crunch it up.
Man.
Oh, my shoes got to go here, and then, everything could be a lot smoother if I didn't have to do all that and it was just kind of organized. So, just cleaning, staying active on that. And rather than setting like, all right, I'm going to clean my house on Saturday, I try to make it like more of a daily thing. So if I see that something needs to go upstairs and I'm on the way upstairs, I'll take that with me. Boom, or just kind of moving through things, getting out my car. Okay, every time I get out my car, I got it as a habit now. I take whatever trash I had, boom, take that trash, put it right in the trash immediately rather than letting it build up. So those are just a couple of habits and hacks that I use just to organize and keep things clean. That could be doing 5 minutes of dishes, before first thing in the morning or before you go to sleep or something, because it definitely helps.
So we said organization is probably
organization
your top.
is a good one. That starts things for me. I notice like if I'm at home and everything just like just blown out. There's nothing, stuff everywhere. I just can't think. Like that. So I just get all that stuff and just clear the chaos so that way I can think straight. So yeah, that's one. That's organization. I probably even say organization of like list taking and a planner, like Tyler said, using a planner to get my thoughts out. I might have an idea for some creative content. I might not be able to act on it right away. I write it down or put it in my notes so that way I can focus on other things. Maybe I can think of more ideas. Maybe, I got something else that I'm important that I'm trying to do so that I can focus,
So effective planning, you would say?
Effective planning and
Number 2?
note-taking, yeah.
Okay.
To organize and create an environment for success. And number 3 probably would be a little bit of the mind-body connection. Probably more nutrition more than anything. I notice that if I'm off nutritionally, I can't think straight. I get the brain fog. Maybe might get some acne. Might just have low energy. So, cooking and eating a lot of leafy greens, drinking a lot of water, getting quality sleep. Those are all things that you can do. Just start small. Maybe if it's a cup of water, 2 cups of water. Try to get as much water as you can. Eat a leafy green salad once a day. So, and exercise whenever you can, even so walk around the block, still counts. So those are probably just a couple things that I do personally to create that environment for success. I could probably even speak on relationships. You want to have an understanding and communication in the relationship so that people understand what is needed from them in the relationship. If I got, for say, a friend or something, and I'm trying to create success for myself, but there might be a disconnection. Maybe this person just wants to kind of hang out or doesn't want to help you with the stuff, and maybe they're just using all your time and your resources and stuff, then that's not going to be a good environment for you to have success at what you're doing. So talking with that friend, talking with that girlfriend, it could be your parents, whatever it is, talking to those people and letting it be known that, hey, I need this from the relationship, and just trying to come to agreeable terms as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay. So relationships, you're 4th.
Yeah.
You're 4th.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you got the planner in there for sure. I would say, though, one of my strongest ones that I use daily is what I call time hacking. So we have 24 hours in a day, right? So how is it that someone like Jeff Bezos can get so much more done than I can if we have the same time, right? So my time hacking was something that I literally started doing when I was going on some runs and listening to audiobooks.
Yeah.
So I would listen to the audiobook, get my reading or listening time in, while I'm also getting my physical fitness in. And so I'm going on these runs, it might be 30 minutes or whatever, but that's the reading time, that's the fitness time, both together. Then right after that, you go take your shower or whatever, but now my mind's jogging with all these ideas from the book. And so I can just go right into work and just start working on my computer, just crank out whatever it is that I was thinking about on that run right away. Because it's that run gets your mind going, and if you start using fitness, you're gonna have a ton of ideas right away for whatever creative aspects you're doing. It's just that weird mind-body connection. So using that time hacking is key for me, number 1. Second is still in that time hacking kind of zone, but winning your mornings, right?
Yeah.
So
That's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, every morning, give myself some time to clear my mind. You're waking up, you don't have anything you're really thinking about, so set yourself an intention. What do you want to accomplish that day? And I give myself that time to sit down with my planner and start to put down things that I want to get done that day. And so then I can go and start my day tackling all of it. So, that'd be my second tip there. And I like how you had said relationships. I'd also, say just communication.
Yeah.
The ability
Definitely.
to communicate what my vision is to the people that need to execute whatever actions, right? Because I have a team where it's hey, we need to get this done for my clients. I need you to do this so I can present blank to them or whatever by a certain time. Just being able to communicate an effective vision to everyone, get them all on board. Man, honestly, that's major key right there.
Yeah.
And those are all good. Those are all really good, especially the time hacking. I didn't know I was doing that subconsciously.
Doing something while you're doing something.
Right.
Smart. Yeah.
So I would say for me, Definitely the vision. Sticking to the vision. Envisioning yourself doing things. I think it's very important.
Visualization.
Yes. I say yes. Yes.
Yes.
But that's a big emphasis on that yes. Like yes, you need
Yes,
to do this.
Yeah.
But once again, I love proverbs. I love quotes. A vision without action is but a dream. So you have to make sure you are putting action towards that dream. And so envision yourself, yes, but put forth that action. And I think the biggest thing that's been taken out of context is having patience. Nothing's gonna come to you if you just wait and be patient. That's being lazy. It comes to you when you are effectively doing something consistently and being patient, not getting engrossed in I gotta do this by this time, by that time. Just doing it and just sticking with it. So I would definitely say number one for me is sticking to the vision, well, action with vision. Number two, I want to take yours.
Yeah.
Time hacking, because I like that. I like that because it's very true by what I do. Like when I, let's say for instance, I'm doing a 2-hour handstand session. I'm working on studying my Portuguese. I might be working on content for my YouTube, just thinking about that. And even doing stretches or working on my mobility so that way I can not only get better at handstands, but increase my range of motion overall. And that's very critical because it helps me throughout my entire day when I go to other forms of practices. And then number three, another big one for me is, once again, your environment, the people you hang around with, who's saying you can't do something, who's even your family. Another quote from a song from J. Cole is, if they don't know your dreams, they can't shoot them down. And that's true because a lot of times when we tell people our dream, our vision, they say, oh, it can't be done, or you need to do this instead. Maybe you should focus on this. Once again, what Will mentioned earlier, someone brings up, oh, you got to pay this bill. That throws your whole rhythm off. So you got to make sure that you be very selective about who you tell what to who, because even though they might really love and care for you, at the same time, they don't love and care for themselves deeply. So it's just like they're going to kind of project that inner fear onto you, and that's going to cause you to doubt yourself. So it's very critical that you're aware of who you tell what to who. And just removing those toxic constituents from your environment. That's critical. So those are my 3 essential tips to success. I think everyone had great ones, and I think guys, listen to this podcast. Just take in those tips and reflect on yourself as you have your drink in your hand. That's the whole point of fill your cup, right? Tea, coffee, I don't care what it is. Just really reflect on your life and be like, okay, what can I do the next hour, next minute, the next day to effectively change my life? With that, guys, did you guys have anything else to add to how to build, environment for to be successful?
We had talked about mentally building an environment. So doing things like spending time in the morning with your thoughts. Meditation is huge. Meditation has been huge for me. So that really helps. They even say that once you start meditating, it's like 2 or 3 months, maybe like a month or so, the shape of your brain changes. So that's kind of crazy. And that actually happens, I could believe it. So spending time with your thoughts, there's a lot of people who say maybe like they try to meditate and there's just all these thoughts coming up. It's probably because you don't spend enough time with your thoughts, So by sitting there, maybe in silence, set a 5-minute timer and just sit there and just think whatever your mind brings to you. You might need to just sit and think about that thought for a minute, or maybe something that happened in the past, so that way you can kind of get over it and think about it, So, yeah, I could say adding a form of mindfulness or meditation definitely to create that mental aspect, mental environment, thinking positive thoughts.
Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wellness.
Sorry, drinking the tea here, enjoying.
I know that tea's good, man.
I'd kind of go a little off that as well. Like, your mind is a garden. You have to plant the seeds that you want to grow, right? So as you were saying before, cutting the people out of your environment, that one seed of doubt that someone can plant in your garden will literally destroy your entire garden. So you have to make sure you become aware of when that doubtful thought or when that doubtful influence comes in, and you just push it out. Like, get rid of it, de-weed it, get whatever you got to do. Make sure your garden is what you're nursing it. You're like a farmer, doing your little thing. So your mind is a fertile ground for any influence, whether this be this podcast influencing you to do great things, or you allow your environment right now to pull you down to like what's normal, right? you get to choose. You get to select what your life is based off the thoughts you allow in your mind.
So true.
And
so true.
he said another thing that stuck out. Great things can come, right? And look at yourself, listen to yourself right now, and just realize that you are great already. We had a little minor setback, but it's all good. But anyways, like I was saying, realizing that you are great is critical. And so you can, if you're already great, you can build towards greater things. So start building those blocks for success, changing your environment. That's so critical. And start believing in yourself more. That seed of doubt can go so far deep in your minds. It's crazy. And it plays a big role in our lives very early. So making sure that you weed out those bad weeds that's in your garden and start flourishing it with good floral. So that's all I had to say.
Yeah, and then there's two ways to think about that, kind of like not telling people your dreams or your thoughts and stuff, you know. I mean, if you're at the point where you're so confident in it and somebody shoots you down, you just kind of like, you use that as fuel. You'd be like, oh, well, I'll show them, or, you know, well, I'll prove them wrong. Now you have a chip on your shoulder, you know. But everyone isn't at that point, you know. You might be that you tell someone your dream and your aspiration, and they're like, oh, that won't work, and then it does plant a seed of doubt in your head. So I guess if you're going to tell people what you're doing, you just got to have that kind of knowledge of where you are with it, you know. If you believe in it so strong, you know, then there's no stopping you, you know. But if you're kind of like, it's up in the air, maybe you're looking to get some advice from somebody, sit and think about it maybe a little bit longer before you start telling people. Find your confidence in it. So yeah,
that's key. That's key to find your confidence there. I really like that at the very end, because confidence is everything. The moment you are confident about something and you start telling other people, you can build confidence in them. True. And that group aspect will literally propel this dream way further than if you took it just alone. If you want to grow fast, do it alone. But if you want to go far, do it together.
Yeah. It takes us to another quote.
Okay.
My neighbor said this, I can't remember the quote though, but it was talking about, I think he said, if your dream isn't big enough, if it doesn't take a team effort. And at first I was like, I could do this by myself, I'm fine. But I'm like, dang, think about the people I'm attracting towards me. Think about the people I'm working with, that's working with me. And we're all subconsciously reaching or striving towards what we deem as success. And it's a group effort. And I now I know what that quote or that saying means now. So definitely a healthy environment. Once again, that's all it is a healthy environment that's suitable for your success as well as theirs as well. Fellas.
Yeah, so even just to add on to that, the environment, creating the environment, Albert Hitchcock, when asked what was a creative environment for him, or what is a good environment or a good life looks like to him, he just said, a place where there's creativity and there's no negative emotion, there's no nothings like that. So just try to create that creative environment, a place where you can be creative and positive all the time.
No doubt. Anything else, Mr. Wellness?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. RT is officially almost out, I think. Even our camera turned off. We're right now. I think it's telling us, okay, y'all can go home now. It's time to go to bed. Anyways, guys, we're gonna see you guys. You guys will hear us again this coming weekend. I look forward to possibly hearing more thoughts from you guys in the comments or whatever, emails, it doesn't matter, social media. Oh, before we do that, let's go ahead and tell our social media handles real quick.
All right. Tyler's Wellness is at Tyler's Wellness, TylersWellness on any platform.
And I am Spence Crosby, that's SPENCE CROSBY, Instagram, Facebook. Building Physiques is my company name, BUILDING PHYSIQUES. Building Physiques is on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well.
All right, and we got William Taylor, CEO of New Wave Coaching. You can find me on Instagram at Professor_illwill. Also on New Wave Coaching at New Wave Coaching. William Taylor on YouTube.
All right, guys, you got our social media handles. Check us out. Give us a follow. Give us an email, whatever. Until next time, guys, we spilled the tea. Peace.
Fill your cups.